Hey puppies, and welcome to a brand new Minecraft 1.20 snapshot. In today's snapshot showcase, we'll be going over the big changes to Vexes and even bigger changes to bamboo blocks that will, well, they've already massively changed tree farming. Now they've massively changed tree farming again. So let's start off with the changes to Vexes. As you can see, right next to me is actually a Vex. It's a Vex. Look at it. It's got eyebrows now. Very angry eyebrows. So if you remember what old Vexes looked like, they were a little bit bigger. They had the little white faces with evil grins and, well, they looked definitely different. The wings are pretty similar. But yes, it's very No, I can't see you when you're in the ground. Thank you. And then they are with their little iron swords. So, yeah, as you can see, Vexes have been changed quite a bit now. But this is only a textural change. But if you look at the hitbox size, as you can see, they are still the same hitbox size. So I can punch right above them, and I'm still hurting him. This is to make them easier to fight because they're smaller than bees, man. How annoying would it be? Sorry, if they couldn't hit them. And they're flying through walls, they would just be an absolute nightmare. To be fair, they probably still are. But basically, that's all the changes to Vexes. If we look inside of this chest though, we have everything that was changed or added in this update. So lots of bamboo things, because to me that's the biggest change that was made. But then they also have a shulker box, pink wool, and command blocks. Interesting. So to start off with, shulker boxes. What was changed to shulker boxes? Well, nothing important, don't worry. But if I get out a torch, I'm going to put it on the side of this block, because you see, this shulker box that's closed, you see it's a solid block face. But if I open this, oh, as you can see, the torch actually breaks. Is it necessary? I don't know, because I feel like when it's opened, which you can't really see because the GUI is there, I feel like that part of the shulker box doesn't move, so, but I guess it doesn't make sense for it to break off. So that's the changes that have been made to shulker boxes. You also can no longer place a block that requires support on the shulker box as it is opened or closing. So, or just staying open, which only really matters with multiplayer, obviously, because you can't. What the heck? That actually scared me because I thought I wasn't in survival. So there have also been some pretty big changes to the creative inventory here. As, I mean, yes, 1.20 is the creative inventory update. Also, maybe the combat update that we'll talk about. So if I open the creative inventory here, you can see two new tabs. You can see colored blocks with this beautiful cyan wool here. And this contains every single colored block. So that's wool, carpet, terracotta, glazed terracotta, glass panes, beds, candles, and also banners. Interestingly, the uncolored candle is also in there as well. It's not really a colored block thing. That's the thing. Everything else has stayed pretty much the same. Crafting has now been renamed to ingredients, which kind of makes more sense, I suppose. It's all still in there, all of the things you can use to craft and apparently brew. Then you have food and drinks now. It's been changed to consumables. I personally do not support this change. I think that's kind of pointless. Is it just because, like, I don't know, kids might not know what consumable means, but like, I don't know, it didn't have to be more concise. In fact, there's actually things in here that aren't consumable, the splash potions. And they are not, well, they are a drink, I suppose, but like, I suppose it definitely works. It can be called food and drink. But, like, would you consider spider eyes and rotten flesh food and drink? Like, would you consider that a food? I just consider that a consumable, like, really. No one ever calls enchanted golden apples food. They call them a consumable, because it is. But, anyways, food and drinks now. Combat has also been changed a little bit, because now we have the axes in... We now have the axes in the combat tab, which makes quite a bit of sense, especially in the future, maybe like in the combat update or something, I don't know. That, but you can still find them in tools and utilities as well. Obviously they're a tool as well as a weapon. But the other biggest change that's come since the color blocks is actually this: operator utilities. Command blocks, chain command blocks, repeating command blocks, minecart with command blocks, jigsaw, structure, structure void, barrier, debug stick, and all of the light blocks. So these things here, these are all creative only items. They're used as a utility for creative. So they got their own tab, which makes a lot of sense. But if I go into controls and hit this button, it's gone. What? This is possibly the weirdest change 1.20 has done so far. So having this, because all of those items previously were not accessible through the creative inventory in Java Edition, you had to use the give command. I can't tell you how many times I've done that exact command. Probably 100 or 2. To be honest, because like every time you start up a new creative world, you want to use some command blocks just because you're building a farm, you don't want to simulate the spawning, so you just want to summon some mobs or something. Anything. Command blocks are so useful. And you have to use give commands to get them every time. It's pretty annoying, not gonna lie. So having them in the creative inventory, awesome. Very cool. But why is it toggleable? I mean, I can kind of, out of all of the switches, obviously that should be the one that's toggleable. But is there a reason for it? I don't know, is it like, I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to access this thing in like survival mode, even with this. So is it something to do with not wanting to give people cheats? For example, on a multiplayer server, where, but that's a client-based button anyway. I assume you can't even disable it for servers. So I don't really know why. This is like safety features, so you don't accidentally get out a command block and kill yourself forever or something. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting change for them to add something like that. But I think by far the strangest thing is where it's located. So in the controls button, the controls tab has this button. What? This is the place that sneak, hold, auto jump, mouse settings, and keybinds. Like, what is it doing here? This is being like purely for control. Where else could it go? I mean, the only other place I could think of is accessibility settings, really. Because it's, but then again, that is all mostly for accessibility rather than just random miscellaneous things. But other than that, I don't really think there is any way to put it, because they've suddenly made themselves a control that they've like never had anything like before, so they don't even have a tab to put it in. So, but it is interesting, and I guess it is a good idea to have a switch for it. I can tell you this switch is always going to be on. Default is actually off. So if you're wondering why you can't see this command block tab in your creative inventory in 22W45A, then that's because the switch is off. So go into the controls tab for some reason and turn it on. So the smaller change, I suppose is smaller, is that there are now new default skins for offline players. So previously when you were offline, I believe all you could be was Steve or Alex. So obviously recently they released the brand new skins, or 7 or 8 of them. So I assume all that means is that now you can access those skins while you're offline. Now, I'm not offline, so I don't know if this is, theoretically it could be some different skins all entirely, but I assume it's the new default skins now available offline, which means good. Even if you don't have an internet connection, your internet connection is down or something like that, you can still use that skin. Because I'm fairly certain I can use this skin if my internet's now, but I'm not sure. Well, there have also been some other rearranging things, like natural blocks have been rearranged a bit. Apparently. To be fair, I don't really know what it used to be, so I mean, I believe that, but I can't really tell if it is or not. Redstone blocks has been changed. Ah, good. They what? I was just like, what they tried to do was put the more important blocks up at the top. They put chiseled bookshelves here, and then you have note block and target blocks at the bottom of it. What? Note blocks should be like there. Note blocks should be there. Target blocks should be like there. In front of chiseled bookshelves. Chiseled bookshelves? I know they got hopper support, but they're not useful. Basically what they did was reordered the redstone tab to have more useful blocks on top, such as, you know, dust blocks, this, observers, hoppers, furnaces. Should that even be in redstone? I mean, I guess it can be. And then they also removed all the excess fence gates, doors, buttons and stuff, so thank you for that. That always was annoying that it was cluttering it up. Thankfully they put the ore at the bottom, because frankly I don't even think that should be in redstone, because technically redstone ore does not even interact with redstone in any way. It's only by, wait, does it? No. Okay, so considering it doesn't interact with redstone in any way, shape or form, I don't really know why it's there. I mean, obviously it's related to redstone, it's redstone ore. I think it's just so if people want redstone ore, they don't have to go through, what is it, natural blocks and find it. If they want redstone ore quick smart, then they want to see redstone blocks. They don't really think, oh, it doesn't interact with redstone. So they grab it from there. I can see why it's in there. Big drip leaf is kind of funny to have in there. TNT, trap chests aren't very helpful, that is fact. Lamps, they've done an interesting job with rearranging it. We've finally gotten to see what Mojang think is most important about redstone, and it's not note blocks, target blocks, or half the other more technical things. Even skull sensors are right down the bottom, they're pretty not very helpful. Even redstone lamps, I thought they used to love redstone lamps. Redstone lamps were like the pinnacle, like 2016 redstone, weren't they? Or even before that, like, what? So they've reordered the redstone tab. I don't think it's definitely not bad, but like, I think it could be rearranged again. They might get a bit of talk about why the heck is barrels and chiseled bookshelves that high up. I think they've tried to group together the storage items. So you've got chests, barrels, and then chiseled bookshelves all together. Armor stands and cauldrons. Look, they're useful. Cauldrons are very useful for technical redstone as well, with the comparators, just moving them up and down to get comparator outputs and T-flip-flops and stuff. But, what? Is it because they can store things as well? I mean, because technically they do, but that's pretty obscure. I wouldn't even call chiseled bookshelves a storage block. They're like storage entities instead of storage entities. They're alloys. Armor stands are the original alloys. Here's a thought. So before, tools and utilities apparently used to contain bottles of enchanting, is that what it's called? Experience bottles were in tools and utilities. Now they've been moved to ingredients. Here's a question. Why are they ingredients? What have they done ever in their life that's been an ingredient? They aren't an ingredient in anything. There's no crafting recipes, no brewing, you can't do anything with these things. All you can do is throw them really far apparently. Give me some XP. These things should be in the food and drinks tab. Obviously you can't drink them, but you can't drink splash bottles anyway, so yeah, these things should definitely be in the consumable tab. At least in my opinion. I mean, obviously, what Mojang says goes. This isn't exactly a bug, but I do think that's a little bit strange to have it in ingredients when it could easily just be in food and drinks. Because, I mean, it's not an ingredient. It kind of fits in and all this stuff, but technically it's not an ingredient in anything, and it's a little out of place because they just put it at the back. It's a little bit sad on its own. Then you've got the enchanting after all the banner patterns, and it's just like sitting there. So you're not cool, but you're really not, mate. A couple other things that have been changed is functional blocks. Almost all of the lighting blocks have been added to the beginning of the functional block stage. You can see even below like it is there. Not all of the lighting blocks, I can't think of many others. I mean, like beacons, campfires, that sort of stuff, they do emit light, but actual lighting blocks is in there. Tools and utilities now has all 3 flight durations of rockets. That's awesome. I was like most happy about this change compared to anything else. This feels almost the same as when they added a crafting recipe for firework rockets in Survivor. It's not, because that was even way cooler, but this is still pretty awesome. So in creative mode you can I mean, it makes sense to not be using the same level of gunpowder that you do in survival mode, in creative mode. I mean, like, you should just be able to take as many rockets as you want, obviously. But yeah, firework 3 rockets. I mean, who uses flight duration 1 in survival anyway? Some cheap fool. Anyway, that's pretty cool that it is in there. Bamboo. So as you can see, block of bamboo and block of... That's also block of bamboo. Block of stripped bamboo. Why are all of these monsters coming out of one place? Let's go. So we now have block of bamboo and block of stripped bamboo. So a block of bamboo, well, I think you can kind of think about how this is going to be crafted up. And it's just the storage block for bamboo. I think it's a storage block. In survival mode, got some bamboo. You craft a block of bamboo from 9 bamboo. So that's 7 per stack, and you get bamboo blocks. They are orientational as well, and can probably be broken with your fist, but best with an axe. It is an axe on a sword, right? I still want to search for everyone technically. No, it's definitely an axe. I figured. Sorry, it's so dull. So that's how you craft a block of bamboo. But what if I want to put a block of bamboo back in? Oh, it's not a storage block. So when you get a block of bamboo, you craft that into 2 bamboo planks. But wait a second. What about this? Nope, that's gone. Okay, so bamboo planks have been nerfed. Seriously nerfed in today's snapshot. Which, to be fair, is quite fair. So now you can only get 2 bamboo planks per block of bamboo. So that only means 1 for every 4.5. Wait a second. That's only half a bamboo more. Holy flip, that's only half a bamboo more! Yes, let's go! Wait a second. Okay. Okay, so if I was gonna divide a stack by 4, I'd get 16. Okay. Then if I was to craft this, I'll lose 1. Okay, so you only get 2 less bamboo planks from 1 stack. But I do still like this change. It actually hasn't... I thought it completely demolished bamboo planks, basically. I was actually kind of scared that bamboo planks would be totally useless from now on. But actually, it's not that bad. You can farm bamboo still really easily on a huge scale. The only difference is it's more crafting. So, do we need auto crafting? Yes, we do. I mean, everyone knows that. But so the thing is now, it might be even more tedious to actually craft up, because now you have to do this. I mean, sure, it's only like 2 clicks, so people can get over it. But imagine you want to craft up like a double chest worth of planks. Now you have to go through all of those clicks. That's like 27 more clicks. Like, your mouse will die like 5 minutes earlier than it was going to before. Poor Mojo, I must sue them. Alright. So, basically, bamboo blocks aren't the only cool thing. No, because now you can also strip them. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Why do we strip bamboo to make it look dry? I don't think... Is this axe superheated? I mean, sure, it makes sense. Like, we need a green bamboo block, but... Ow. Okay. Why are we having it? I think... yeah, it's something that makes sense. Like, this is raw bamboo. Makes a lot of sense. Like, it's the same as this. Stop moving, okay? Oh my gosh, get out of the hole. See, it's the same color as that, obviously. It's made to look like that bamboo, but then you put a strip bamboo next to it. So, does that look like it's just had the inner bark taken off of it? No, if you can see here, bamboo on the inside is green. So why is this not green? Well, that's because it looks dry. Bamboo IRL is apparently processed to be dried before it can be turned into wood. You don't just like start building a house out of green bamboo. That kind of makes sense, like wouldn't that decay eventually? So, I don't know. I mean, why are we using an axe on something to make it stripped? With actual logs, it makes a lot of sense because, like, look, the inside is, you know, light colored. Boom, light colored on the outside. I love stripped logs. They're brilliant. They couldn't be any better for building, to be honest. The changes in tone, like turning the spruce wood from dark to looking like dark oak and stuff, and how all the different wood types blend together except for acacia, warped, bamboo, mangrove, and crimson. All of them blend together so well. and maybe jungle as well. Okay, so just those three. So stripping it to turn it into this color, I don't know. I mean, it's a very simple way of doing it, because if you want to build with this palette, then it's much easier to use that if you just have to strip it than this, rather than, like, I don't know, smelting it, which is what I was thinking, or even cooking it in a smoker or not a blast furnace. But I don't know, I feel like possibly smelting it to dry it out would make a lot of sense. You do the same thing with kelp. Yeah, it's definitely okay to have it look like this, but I don't know. Also, all of the planks are still dried as well, like that. As you can see, the planks are still the same color as that. And all of the things you crafted, I mean, obviously not like, but trapdoors and things, they're still clearly the dried color. So now that they've acknowledged that bamboo's green, it's kind of weird to think about how everything isn't green. Is there like a specific reason for it now? Now that you've said bamboo blocks are green, they're not green, so why are they? You see? You dug your own grave and then fell in it like I just did. But the good news is the bamboo hasn't been nerfed massively, but it has been nerfed a fair amount. So it feels like it's way less crafting. But actually, it feels like you're getting way less per thing, but actually you're not. So is bamboo still the most efficient wood type available? It definitely could be, actually, yes. There's the potential that it certainly is. Is it? Well, I mean, it's slightly less efficient, but if you're talking about the casual Minecraft player, then yeah. I mean, the casual Minecraft player probably just want to be chopping down some giant spruce trees and stuff, but if you want to start farming wood in your world, you're not a super technical redstoner, then bamboo's the way to go, because you can just make a simple flying machine, don't even really have to know how it works if you don't want to, and you can make a super simple bamboo farm. I mean, you can literally just make a super duper simple one, like the old sugarcane farms we do with like just the pistons observers. And then bam, that's actually an auto wood farm. Now it's extremely slow if you're just going to do that. Obviously nano farms exist where you bone meal it. So bamboo is still an incredible wood type. I actually can't wait to make a giant wood farm in my 1.20 survival world. Whatever that may be, probably technically vanilla. Check out that series. But because now instead of building tree farms, we can start building bamboo farms. I like tree farms, but I don't like tree farms. I think tree farms are really like awkward. They're massive. They really don't look very good. Whereas like a bamboo farm just looks like a giant bamboo field. Like, it's a bit weird, but it just looks like a big Minecraft field. So that's basically all the changes in 22. I think it's 2024 apparently. 22W45A. So there have been changes to Vexes. I think my Vex despawned. So there have been changes to Vexes, there have been changes to loads of things, and the bamboo nerf. I mean, there was a bamboo nerf, it just wasn't as severe as I thought because I didn't bother doing the math before I put down that sign. Anyway, big changes have been made. I'll be doing a video upcoming soon, probably, about bamboo wood and the best ways to farm bamboo for 1.20, so stay tuned for that. If you're still watching now, then thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next snapshot showcase or episode. So, bye bye!